Well, this video is gonna be about Sage Mode, but, that's actually a really good idea. So, alright, here we go. The Shadow Clone technique is a B-rank ninjutsu created by the second Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village, Tobirama Senju. While there are many clone techniques that are derived directly from the Shadow Clone Jutsu, it's possible that the Shadow Clone Jutsu itself was derived from Hashirama Senju's Wood Clone technique. It's never been confirmed anywhere, but it does make sense considering Tobirama is Hashirama's brother, and he saw Hashirama use the Wood Clone technique all the time in battle. Regardless, every variant of the Shadow Clone technique shares one common purpose, and that is to create a doppelganger or multiple doppelgangers of the user for whatever reason the user has in mind. This can be for reconnaissance, for creating a distraction in battle, for overwhelming an enemy through the strength of sheer numbers, etc. Shadow clones are also a very valuable asset for training, as any knowledge that a shadow clone gains will be directly transferred to the user of the technique whenever that shadow clone is dispersed. This can potentially cut down the amount of time needed to train to learn a new technique by a factor of however many shadow clones are created, and it is incredibly useful when training under a time restraint. In battle, shadow clones act exactly as you'd expect them to. They are a direct copy of whoever created them, and as a result, they have access to all of the techniques of whoever spawned them. While a shadow clone will share the personality and thought patterns of its creator, it does not act under the direct control of its creator. Shadow clones can and often will act of their own free will, though this will is generally the same as that of the user of the technique. Additionally, shadow clones are not bound by any range limit, and this means that they can stray as far away from their creator as they wish. Furthermore, shadow clones can create their own sub-shadow clones, which act as normal shadow clones do, with pretty much no difference. The technique is limited by the fact that chakra must be distributed evenly amongst all of the clones created by the user, which means that not only is each individual shadow clone handicapped, but additionally the user is left with a handicap as well, as when the shadow clones are destroyed, the user will be left with a fraction of their chakra. Thankfully, this chakra deficit doesn't actually affect the physical abilities of the shadow clones, as each clone is just as strong as the person who created them is. Furthermore, it is possible to work around this limit by willingly releasing shadow clones, as when a shadow clone is willingly released by the user, then the amount of chakra contained within that clone will be returned to the user upon its release. Now, releasing a shadow clone before it's destroyed can be a bit easier said than done, as most of the time, shadow clones will be destroyed with just one powerful hit, but it does seem that the durability of one's shadow clones can be increased with training. Naruto's shadow clones were able to go toe-to-toe with Kage level opponents before they were destroyed, so your mileage may vary. As a matter of fact, Madara even managed to figure out a way to create a shadow clone that would never disappear, which he left in his casket to keep Hashirama and Tobirama under the impression that he was dead. As you can tell, the technique is very versatile, but it does offer a few more utilities that I haven't mentioned here. Itachi Uchiha has shown the ability to turn shadow clones into bombs. The third Hokage has shown the ability to use the technique on objects as opposed to himself, leading to the creation of the Shuriken shadow clone technique, one of the most lethal techniques in the entire series. And various characters have shown the ability to swap places with a shadow clone with the substitution technique. This by no means covers all of the different things that can be accomplished with the shadow clone technique, but I'm pretty sure it paints a decent picture for you. I apologize for the short length of the video, but that's due to the fact that there's not really a whole lot to cover with the shadow clone technique. While it's certainly not simple, it's certainly more simple than a lot of the other aspects of the Naruto universe, so explaining it isn't too difficult or too time-consuming. Of course, if I did leave anything out, then feel free to ask me in the comments below, but I think I did a pretty good job covering everything, so I'm gonna end the video here. This has been Swagkage. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe, and then hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Till then, I'll talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.